Good afternoon, dear students. Myself, Sonigra, working as a lecturer in mechanical engineering at Government Polytechnic, Rajkot. And today we will discuss about a subject, mechanical drafting, and in that a very interesting topic, that is projections of solids. And in projections of solids, we will discuss four types of solids. First is the prism, prismatic shape. There are four solids: prism, pyramid, cylinder and cone. Prismatic shapes, these are the examples of prismatic shape: weight balance, head of panner, scriber and HCP close packed center. This is one example of square prism. Here square prism is given with a side length 40 mm and axis, that is height 60 mm. This is a square prism having a rectangular face. This is a rectangular face, 3, 4, CD. This rectangular face makes an angle of 30 degree with horizontal plane and axis makes an angle of 60 degree with vertical plane. Draw its projection. In such kinds of problem, first step is to identify the solid. Here square prism is the solid and dimensions are given. This side length 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4 and 4, 1 are 40 mm and its height, that is B2, 2 and C2, 3 is given as 60 mm. And second step is to think about the angle with horizontal plane and angle with vertical plane. In this case, angle with horizontal plane is given as 30 degree and the face makes an angle of 30 degree with horizontal plane and axis of this solid makes an angle of 60 degree with vertical plane. How to draw the projection? So first of all, draw XY line that represents intersection of horizontal plane and vertical plane. Then next step is to draw a square of given dimension, that is 40 mm is the side length of this square. So draw 40 mm square, name the points A, B, C and D. After naming these points, the second step is to take projections from point A and D, A, B, C and D up to XY line, and that will intersect XY line at a point A dash, B dash, C dash and D dash. Mark these points. Now height is given, that is 60 mm. So draw a rectangle of height 60 mm from these 4 points. Now we have drawn this view, front view. In a front view it will appear as a rectangle having height 60 mm, and in a top view it will appear as a square having side length 40 mm. 1, 2, 3, 4 is this face, A, B, C, D is the bottom face, it is over here. Now we have drawn up to this first line. First line we have drawn, that is a square prism, 40 mm base sides and 60 mm height. Now second stage. In second step it is given that it has a rectangular face, makes an angle of 30 degree with horizontal plane. So this is a rectangular face which we identify, and that this plane will make an angle of 30 degree with horizontal plane. So how to draw this? This is the actual condition. This is a rectangular prism and this face, blue colored face, makes an angle of 30 degree with horizontal plane. This is the condition. Now how to draw this view? So for first we have drawn first view, then move this front view like this. This is the front view. So as the front view moves, its top view also moves, or in other words, redraw these two views like this. Now this front view makes an angle of 30 degree with horizontal plane. So tilt this front view such that it makes an angle of 30 degree with XY line. And accordingly, there will be change in top view like this, and locate the points like this: A, B, C, D. Here A, B, C, D are there in the top view. In front view, A dash, B dash, C dash, D dash are there. So here A dash, B dash, C dash and D dash, these are the 4 points, and here A, B, C, D are the 4 points. So this is the top view of given solid. Now here it is given that this solid makes an angle of 60 degree with vertical plane. So tilt this solid at an angle of 60 degree with XY line. So we have tilted this solid at an angle of 60 degree. Now to take projections and to draw this view over here, we will take projections from each point, that is vertical lines from this top view A, B, C and D, and horizontal lines from A dash, B dash, C dash and D dash, like this. Horizontal line from point A dash, vertical line from point A that will intersect at one point. Name this point as A1 dash or A dash. Similarly, vertical line from point B, horizontal line from point B dash. Here is another point, point C, vertical line from point C, horizontal line from point C dash, and fourth point D, vertical line from point D, horizontal line from point D dash. Here is the fourth point. Now join all these points with a straight line like this. As point B, this corner is away from XY line, much far away. So this point B will be visible to us. So all this point B is visible, and hence these all 4 points will be visible. So join these points with a solid line, full line. Now in the second case, to draw further projections, draw vertical lines from rest all these points 1, 2, 3 and 4, and mark here points, horizontal lines from respective points, and mark here 4 points 1, 2, 3 and 4, and join these points like this. As this point at this corner, which is nearer to XY line, so this will not appear in front view, and hence this point should be joined with the dotted line with every points like this. This line is dotted line, this line is dotted line, and these lines are full line. Now this point is joined with the dotted line, so join this point with a dotted line, and rest all lines with a full line. So these all lines are full, this is dotted line, and hence this is the final view of given data. Here the square prism is given, having base 40 mm, sides, height 60 mm. This is a rectangular face which makes an angle of 30 degree. This angle is 30 degree with horizontal plane, and the axis of this solid makes an angle of 60 degree with vertical plane, and this is the final answer. So here 3 stages are there: first stage, second stage and third stage. In first stage we have just identified the solid and drawn its view, top view as well as front view. In the second stage we drawn the angle of axis or face made with horizontal plane, and in the third stage we will draw its top view, axis makes an angle of 60 degree with XY line. Now this is another prism, that is hexagonal prism, which makes an angle of 45 degree with horizontal plane. This is one case of hexagonal prism in which side length and height are given to you. To draw the projection of this hexagonal prism, draw XY line that represents intersection of horizontal plane and vertical plane, and 2 axes. This is a vertical axis and horizontal axis. Draw a hexagon having the side length 30 mm. Take projections and draw projection line and make a rectangle over here of given dimension. Name these points A, B, C, D, E, F like this, and draw projection lines. Here this is the front view of this solid. This line B dash to this will be visible, it will be full line, this will be full line. Here is the center line, here is the center line. Now here I am having one solid which is having 4 sides. This is one hexagonal prism having this is a hexagonal face A, B, C, D, E, and this is its front view. Now if I am looking from front side, then like this, it will appear it will appear as a rectangle, as you can see here, right? Here it looks as an rectangle. If I am looking from top side, it will appear as a hexagon. If it is a pentagonal prism, then this shape will be pentagon, and top view will be pentagon and front view will be rectangle. So in case of prism, always front view will be rectangle and top view will be any polygon. That polygon may be triangle, may be square, may be pentagon, may be heptagon or octagon. If this is a cylinder, in that case this will appear as a circle. As we can say, if this is a circle, then also front view will be rectangle and top view will be a circle. So we can say this is a prism or cylinder as a prism having infinite number of sides. Now to draw the projection of this hexagonal prism, first we draw its top view as shown over here. In top view, two sides are parallel to xy line, and if it is given that these two sides are perpendicular to xy line or perpendicular to vertical plane, then in that case we have to draw these two sides perpendicular to xy line. Here we assume that two sides are, here it is given two sides parallel to horizontal plane. So we have drawn two sides parallel to horizontal plane. Now in second stage, suppose it is given height is given 90 mm, side length is given 50 mm. Now it is given that the axis of this prism makes some angle with horizontal plane, like this. Here draw its axis which makes an angle of 45 degree with xy line, and redraw this rectangle over here with the same dimensions 90 mm height, and rest all the points A dash, B dash, C dash, D dash, E dash and F dash. It is like this. This is a prism. First we have drawn here A, B, C, D, four faces are there. A, B, C, D, this is a front view which we have drawn over here. Now this prism is tilted like this, like this. So this face or axis of this solid makes an angle of 60 degree with horizontal plane. So this angle is 60 degree. So tilt this solid. First is his, the second is this one. By tilting this, here we have tilted its front view like this. After tilting, to draw its top view, let me take projections from each point. So these are the lines. Now to draw projections, draw horizontal lines from top view. Say horizontal line from point A, B, C, D, E and F, and respectively vertical lines from A dash, B dash, vertical line from point A dash, so it will give us point number A, vertical line from point B dash, horizontal line from point B, this is point B, vertical line from point C dash, horizontal line from point C, that will give us point number C. Similarly D, E and F. 6 points are over here. Now join all the 6 points with a smooth straight line A, B, C, D, E, F. As here this upper face A, B, C, D, E, F is towards our side, it will be fully visible like this. A, B, C, D, here it is there, A, B, C, D is there. If I looking from the top side like this, then this face will be visible to me as well, but this bottom face would not be visible to me. This would not be visible to me. So in this case, once I tilt like this face ABCD will be visible to me as shown over here. So this hexagon is fully visible, all lines are straight. Now to think about this bottom face, again do similar exercise, draw vertical lines from all front views like this and horizontal lines from top view, join them, mark the points 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Now join these lines with a straight line, all these points, but this line will not be visible. This will be dotted because that edge is not visible and these sides are visible, so join this. So this is the final shape. In this case, the axis of this solid makes an angle of 45 degree with horizontal plane like this. As we can see it over here in this model, that when this model makes an angle of 45 degree like this, it is tilted like this, in that case this face, this point will not be visible to us, but here this point or this hexagon will be visible to us. So we have drawn this hexagon with a full line. This edge, this and this edge as well as this edge, it will appear in the top view. So we have drawn here these lines as a full line, this whole line, only this line is dotted line. Now this is about the given condition. Then this is another problem of hexagonal prism. Here it is given that in this hexagonal prism 30 mm is the side length, 70 mm is the height, and it is resting on HP such that the axis makes an angle of 30 degree with HP and 60 degree to vertical plane. Draw its projections, keep top end of the prism nearer to vertical plane. This is the given situation. So first we think about its first view, first top view and first front view. Here hexagonal prism is given, so top view will be obviously hexagon, but here it is not given, anything condition is not given. So we assume that two sides are parallel to, perpendicular to xy line. Say in this case like this. This is a prism. Here point A, B, C, D, E, F are there. We assume that it is not lying like this. We assume that it is lying like this. These two sides are perpendicular to xy line. Suppose this is horizontal plane, or say this is vertical plane, and these two sides are perpendicular to the vertical plane. So we have drawn it over here like this. Two sides A, B, C, D, E and F. A, B and C, D are perpendicular to xy line, and from these points take projection lines and draw its front view of given height. Now here it is given that the axis makes an angle of 30 degree with horizontal plane. So redraw this rectangle such that its axis makes an angle of 30 degree with xy line. So we have redrawn this rectangle such that this axis makes an angle of 30 degree. So obviously this B dash 2 dash or A dash 1 dash side, this side will also make an angle of 30 degree with xy line. Now after drawing or redrawing this front view at an angle of 30 degree, take projections